Here we are going to start the slideshow on the reproductive and the urinary system of the rat. Starting with the renal system, we have our renal arteries and veins. You know the difference because the blue one would have deoxygenated blood, which means it would be a vein, and the red one would be an artery and it would have oxygenated blood. What happens in the kidneys? We get rid of our waste. So we call this metabolic waste, and the kidney is in the lower section towards the back. Remember, there's one on the left and there is one on the right. Because it's kidney, these would be renal. That's how you would know. The next portion, you have the caudal and the iliac coming down here, and again it's red, which tells you that it's an artery, and you do need to know these, so make sure you have these memorized. I do want to show you, we have seen the colon full of poop pellets. This one is empty. I don't want you to get confused thinking it's a uterus during a test. So make sure you know if you see 3 in a row that this would be considered the descending colon. Here you have the uterus. There's 2 on both sides. Obviously this rat is not pregnant, otherwise they would be very enlarged. And then down in this area you have the vagina, just so you're aware of what's in these slides. This is the male. This is the scrotum sac. Here's the epididymis, and here you find the testes. You have the vesicular and the coagulating glands in this area. Make sure you know them apart. Usually you have quite a few glands here, so you want to be really careful. The prostate, there are 2, one on either side of the bladder. You'll find the bladder right here. Oops, I'm going to go back. Sorry about that. It's the little ball in the middle, and that's how you could tell the difference. So keep an eye on those and make sure you understand which ones are which. There's a gland here, the perpetual gland. You need to know that one. Your prostate's your bladder, and then the other 2 right here. For the female, here's where you might get confused. Now see, this makes it a little bit easier to see the colon because you have poop pellets that have already formed. But if those weren't there, it might make it more difficult. The uterus on either side. The oviducts and ovaries we'll take a closer look at in a minute. Again, there's that little ball that kind of comes up here. You could see that it's the bladder. Next to it is the vagina. Vagina is the end product of where the uterus is. And there's one of the female glands here that you do need to know. Down here, this would be the external area, which is the clitoris. And is there anything else that we could talk about? Just she's really fat. Next we have the ovaries. So here you find the ovaries. This is the oviduct or fallopian tube that you're used to seeing, and then the uterus, and of course that would continue down. And would this be haploid or diploid? Is it half the number of cells? And how many chromosomes would that hold in a human? So if there were 46 chromosomes in a human, what would be a haploid and which one would be the diploid? The vas deferens is located right here, so you do want to make sure you understand the difference. Again, the epididymis is here, and down here is the epididymis, and here are the testes. He needs a manicure, pedicure. Look at that. Again, the vesicular gland, the bladder, prostate gland. So take a look at that. And that is it. So, if I could turn this off, I would. I guess I'm doing this wrong. What's a mom to do? Here we go. Well, you could just turn it off and ignore me now.